àbájọrò kì í pẹ́ kú, ohun àṣepọ̀ nílẹ̀ yẹ, ẹ̀yìn ọ̀la wa ti dára ọ̀, àwa Èkìtì àti parapọ̀, ká parapọ̀ ká tún bá mú pọ̀, àwa Èkìtì àti gómìnira ọ̀kan làwa ń ṣe.
The creation of Ekiti State gave so many people grounds for happiness, reasons to celebrate. It was going to turn out to be the first and most homogeneous state in the country. We would have become the only state to boast of 83% or 80% of homogeneity. And between 1996 and 2003, we were moving towards that direction. We thought by 15 years after, everybody would see himself first and foremost as an Ekiti man. The divisions, the micro divisions within the group would have been glossed over, papered over, and made really new. But it didn't happen like that. From 2003, that is the second election, the second civilian election, there came this degeneration of values. We started governments of disunity, governments of ingratitude, and so many other things. It was like a reversal of fortune. And that reversal is still what we are contending with today. But I'm happy because even in the days of the old Ibadan suzerainty, it was Fabumi of Ekiti who liberated the other Yorubas from the shackles of oppression. And I think what we have today now is a liberation movement, which is like a revolution, championed by the people. And with the insignia of authority beamed on Engineer Shegun.
If there is one man to be held in high esteem, if any man is qualified for the people's love, that man is Shegun Oni.
We now can look to a wonderful future, but that is not to forget the inglorious past that we've had now, up till this point. We have reversed virtually every good thing. The path of democracy is not on the path of development anymore. There is a dilapidation of every structure in the state, and there is no infusion of decency or the Yoruba values into anything. The egalitarian virtues of the Yoruba man have actually been taken away from us. The woman cannot talk, the man cannot talk. There is an oppressive atmosphere everywhere, within the service, outside the service. And now we have a situation where some people think that it's their prerogative for us to serve them. Some people think that they are not to serve the general interest, but that the general must now serve a specific interest. And that is a devaluation of the Yoruba custom. What is happening today is beyond Engineer Shegun Oni. He could not have known that the people were already feeling indignant about the political terrain. There is a lessening of value, there's a lessening of service, there's a lessening of conditions for improvement. And now there's a massive looting, which you call the privatization of the estate. And that for me is the main reason why I will vote and I will support and I will do everything to make sure that Engineer Segun Oni becomes the next governor of the state. When Engineer Segun Oni spent 3 years, everybody noticed his passion for education. Everybody noticed his passion for free expression. Everybody knew that stewardship was his bell.
By the time we are 4 years there, our target is to deliver more than 1,000 kilometers of very, very good roads here.
In those 3 years, he produced what he had done.
Today, there is no town or village that has an OBA that there is no road, motorable road through. I can say very clearly that gone are the days when we used to have the heroes of this world, the Ipao Keakuireles of this world, the Yemero Itapaji, the Omu, Vijelu, and so on, all those places, Ilemesho, those places that were locked out as if they are not a part of this state. Today, they have been opened up, and the people of those states, their children can visit them now.
By the 3rd year, he was tarring a kilometer of road for 19.1 million. Today, now we are tarring a kilometer of road for 152 million point something. Do I need to tell you that something is wrong there? He really believed in the decency of his people. And he did everything to bring up the values of his people.
I came to government because I wanted Ekiti to become a masterpiece. The last UNDP report, Human Development Report for Nigeria, that was broken down to states, the composite index of how well people are and how well people are living in all states, we were number 10 in Nigeria. We were number 1 on life expectancy. Our health indices were number 1 in the country.
But some others who came after him, they brought in politics of it is me and me. Let me be honest with you. Some of us were born in the same society. My son will not be a slave to another person's dominion. Neither do I expect any other person's son to come and be a slave to my own dominion. And until we create, the people on the street are saying that now. There is enough money to spend on people's welfare. When Segun Oni was there, he cancelled bursary and instituted scholarships. And not scholarships that you would win and now say you are not going to school. No. In fact, for PhD, he instituted 1 million per person.
We have awarded maritime scholarships, aviation scholarships, language school year abroad scholarship. Law school is automatic for every Ekiti indigene. I understand some people who are not Ekiti even call themselves Ekiti now. And it's very difficult for us to disentangle, but so education has never been this free anywhere in Nigeria before.
It is the infusion of decency and goodness into the structures of governance that we witnessed under Segun Oni. He had respect for the Ekiti values. This man called Chief Segun Oni stands a chance of becoming the Awolowo of our own millennium. The first 4 years of Niyi Adebayo, it was still a pseudo-military administration. He didn't have enough money, but don't forget what he built in Abuja. Don't forget what he built in Lagos. Don't forget what he did by not making any of us suffer salary thing. So he didn't have money. But after the 4 years, the political class had learned so much. And money from nowhere just started coming up. And the next 4 years after Niyi Adebayo, there were years of vagrant abuse. The elevation of crudity into government happened the 4 years after Niyi. And when God appeared to now answer our prayers, it was a wonderful song that many of course, because we don't have limitless funds, there are people that may not have appreciated all that Segun was doing then. I'm talking about Engineer Segun Oni, but it was a clear departure from the past. It was a time when you were happy to say, I'm from Ekiti. But something happened, the manipulation of the system.
Before completing its second year, the Oni government suffered a setback. The Court of Appeal in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, delivered an appeal judgment in February 2009 over the 2007 governorship election. The appeal had been filed by the Action Congress in reaction to an earlier election tribunal judgment which upheld Governor Oni's election. The new verdict ordered the Speaker of the State House of Assembly to assume office as the acting governor, while the governorship election was to be reconducted in 63 wards across 10 local government councils.
I assure you that for the period I will be as the head of government, I will be fair to all in the coming elections, irrespective of their political affiliations.
After 79 days in office, Odeyemi handed over to the winner of the rerun election. Segun Oni returned to the government house with renewed vigor and determination to make the best of the second opportunity at governance.
It is this perversion of justice, this perversion of truth, and the perversion of goodness that we have been into in the last 14 years. This may look too highfalutin in terms of analysis, but that is the truth.
The second appellate court sitting in Ilorin on Friday, the 15th of October 2010, nullified Governor Oni's election and ruled that Dr. John Kayode Fayemi was the authentic winner of the 2009 rerun election in Ekiti and should therefore be sworn in immediately.
The use of the system to give rights to some people who are not worthy and to give wrong to the person who was worthy. That was when it happened.
As emotion took control of some of the sympathizers, Segun Oni sauntered out of the office he had occupied for about 3.5 years as the #1 citizen of Ekiti State. Flanked by few aides and some members of his cabinet and political associates. He beckoned at a couple of media men around.
Yeah, press.
In this administration, I cannot tell you that we have witnessed the rise of truth. What we have seen is a manipulation of truth and an elevation of ugliness. Democracy is a government of the people, not the government of the person. And we haven't seen that. Even in the government of people who are supposed to be so exposed, who have gone out, there has been a privatization of the estate. And I will not allow my son to be a slave to the son of others, because I won't like to make a slave of other people's son to me. We are the most egalitarian society. When I think of the depth of character of this man called Engineer Segun Oni, I know that I do not have to fear that. The day he was removed from office, and I was there.
One is a verdict of posterity. We have been here, we delivered, and our name will be written in gold. The second is a verdict of God. We don't know what it is, but because we have kept faith with Him, we know it will be positive. The third is the verdict of man. Whatever it is, cannot throw us off balance.
That was the day he was given the security vote. It was a huge amount of money. And you know what, engineer? I would never forget when engineer Segun Oni called his PA, his confidential secretary, the Kineka in his office, and said, that money that I have not taken a cupboard there, the security, you must take it back to the bursary. And that was the first thing that the government that took over from him that day acknowledged, that he got that money. That is something that even they were not expecting to meet. Security vote has become the vote that everybody steals. And I'm talking about a huge sum of money that would have made a significant difference in his life. But he's more comfortable with his peace of mind than with the convenience of purchases.
This is the security vote of the governor of Ekiti, not of Segun Oni.
So he opted not to feel guilty, but to feel righteous.
Since the court has pronounced now that I'm no longer governor, I won't touch it. And I told Mrs. Omope, when Kayode comes on Monday, please hand over the security vote.
When he says he wants to come back, he wants to rebuild those structures that he had built that would have survived after him, but which dishonesty and ineptitude did not make succeeding governments to reinforce. We have to reinforce those things, because in Ekiti now, we have no structure of decency. If you go to the television stations, you'll find out that the last elevation done in the television stations, Ekiti television station, were done in the days of Segun Oni. So what happened? The people in PDP have moved en masse to SDP. And it is also happening in APC. APC will self-destruct. A revolution always has a figure. The Ekiti revolution now has Segun Oni. We have to make sure that these desperate people do not have the capacity to hurt him. This man simply wants to make Ekiti better, so that his sons and daughters can say, oh, I'm coming back to Ekiti. The socialization process, where we install our values into the next generation, we have destroyed virtually everything. When Segun was there, he did not allow people to behave and believe that there is no distinction between government money and private money. That, to me, was a new thing to them. But those of them, the clever one, who quickly realized that that is true, government money is not my money. They are those people who first joined Segun Oni. But those who became used to, let me steal from everywhere. Of course, it has become a character trait. And they are not going to leave this character trait in a hurry. In fact, they are going to stay there and hope to keep on benefiting in a fraudulent manner like that. Segun Oni would not allow that. And if that is the evil that he has done, I can tell you the goodness that he has brought to this society, that not one of them had been able to bring back to the society. As a civil servant, you knew when you get your salary. If you didn't get it on 24, 25, 26, 27, then you were not working in Ekiti State. If you are retiring, it is not you that will be going there as an impoverished person that would make you look down on yourself. It is the state that will call you, Dr. Ajayi, your pension is ready. Please come and pick it. That is how to build decency into structures of governance. But when you turn everything upside down just because you want to make money or you want to privatize the institution, then you are corrupt. This state, if we rebuild it, will build oases within a dry land here and there. And once you combine those oases together, there will be enough water for us to drink. We need to rebuild the structures. The structures are just not there anymore. The traditional system, you now have a governor who speaks to the KBACs as if he's superior to them. There's a shortage of good values in our society now. And that is why I support who I'm supporting now.
Former Ekiti Governor 11 years after leaving office, Segun retains people's affection.
They are going to stand by their votes this time. They are going to insist that what they did must count. I'll be there in my own local government, in my own ward, and it will take a superhuman being to change 36. So I said, well, I don't know what this is behind it. I saw only 3. It will be extremely difficult.
Prosperity for everybody, especially for the younger ones.
There is hope, and I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Let's communicate hope.
There is hope.
Mommy boss, Daddy Johnson, Mommy Arena, Daddy Toko, Atomo Bitagalaga, Daddy Arena.
Thank G on the beat.
Ṣẹ́gun òní ní ṣe kó dúró. Àtọmọdé àtàgbà ta ló níbò. Èkìtì kété nílé lóko. Tẹ́ bá ti rí SDP ó ní kẹ́dìbò fún lẹ́kìtì. Kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun dá gómìnà lẹ́kìtì. Ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pé lẹ́kìtì. Ṣẹ́gun òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ilé wọlé dé lẹ́kìtì o. Abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi finally o. Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú Ọmọlúwa. Ilé wọlé dé SDP for you job opportunity o. Èkìtì àtúrà fẹ́ everybody o. Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú Ọmọlúwa. Ilé wọlé dé
Thank G on the beat.
Ogún ọdún ajá irin fàájì ní fẹ́ ṣe. Èkìtì nílé lóko ẹ̀tẹ̀ka ìdìbò fẹ́ gbẹ̀lẹ́ṣin. Ṣẹ́gun òní ti dé àtúnṣe Èkìtì ló wọlé dé. Ọmọlúwàbí ọmọ tán sọ dé ló wọlé dé. Èkìtì nílé lóko ẹ má dá bára jà. Ìjọba tí kò bẹ́ wá o ẹ jẹ́ ká dára gbà o. Ṣẹ́gun òní ti dé àtúnṣe Èkìtì ló wọlé dé. Iná máa wà omi máa dé ìtàlíṣ owó máa pé
kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun dá gómìnà lẹ́kìtì. Ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pé lẹ́kìtì. Ṣẹ́gun òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ilé wọlé dé lẹ́kìtì o. Abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi finally o. Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú Ọmọlúwa. Ilé wọlé dé SDP for you job opportunity o. Èkìtì àtúrà fẹ́ everybody o. Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú Ọmọlúwa. Ilé wọlé dé ẹni tó lè ṣe ẹ ló yẹ ká fún. Ẹni tó ẹ ló yẹ ká bọ̀lá fún. Lẹ́kìtì Ṣẹ́gun ni ẹ dìbò fún. Kánò Dàùtì Àníkẹ́ dìbò fún. Báńkẹ́ dìbò wá ti wọlé o. Ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ Èkìtì àmàgbàdé o. Ṣẹ́gun ní dé ìwé wọlé dé o. Ìwé wọlé dé. Kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun da gómìnà lẹ́kìtì ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbé lẹ́kìtì Ṣẹ́gun òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé lẹ́kìtì o abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi fáínàlì o tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwàbí o. ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé SDP for you job opportunity o Èkìtì to have everybody o tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwàbí o. ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé
People of the fountain,